Warbird. Mad. Josh, just relax, mate. Quick bowl, quick beer. J-Vans. We're going, mate. Just relax, alright? We'll just have a quick refreshment and we'll get there. It's time. Mate, we've got to go. Just relax, bro. Come on. All right, I've finally made it to the Castlemaine Rod Shop. We're here, Castlemaine, Victoria, Australia. These guys make parts for cars that you guys build. We're going to go and have a chat with Heath. He's going to show us just how this place works, what kind of stuff they do, what they build, how they build it, where they work on their own cars. We're going to have a look at Warbird. We couldn't come here without looking at Warbird. What else? That's about it, mate. Get on inside, have a look what's going on. Mad. Right, Summernats, we're here with Heath Waddington at the Castlemaine Rod Shop. We've come all the way to Victoria. What's cool is if you walk around Summernats, there's no way you can get around the joint unless your eyes are painted on and not see the Castlemaine Rod Shop stuff, logos, cars that have their equipment on it, etc. Heath, it's good to be here, mate.
Thanks for coming down, mate. Yeah,
welcome.
Thanks for making the trip.
For people who don't know, what is Castlemaine Rod Shop?
If you're a car head, you probably should know because we've been around since '76, well before I was even born. It's a brand, I suppose, that's generation. You hear a lot of people come up to us and say, oh, my dad bought a slick 5-speed conversion. And it's funny that the next generation then come to us with their dad, and I think because it's had that name and it's been for so long, that's why they come to us. Yeah. If that makes sense. It's a funny one. You always get that generation that probably getting out of the car scene, but they're bringing their kid or a sibling into that car scene. So you hear it over and over and over again. So.
And a lot of that stuff sits close to people's hearts because they're pushing their car passion into their son and whatever else, and along the way they know the companies they worked with and things they bought stuff from. The cars at Summernats, a huge percentage of the cars cruising around our stuff and in the top 60 haul, no matter where, are going to have parts from you guys. Where do you pull the passion to be constantly innovating all this stuff, you know, like, because that's what you're doing.
Like I tell people, you can't start a business like this overnight.
Yep.
40 years. Yep. The R&D side of stuff, people never see it and they never see the cost of it. You don't just make a part here and then just release it. And we talk about this with the one here as a quick example. Yep. That was 3 or 4 years of designing, testing, R&D, and as my generation is now with people making stuff, engineering. I would have loved about 40 years ago, you could make something and sell it. So the side people don't see is behind the closed doors of how many failures are, engineering, time, money. You don't get your money back in 12 months. It can take 5-6 years to get something back, you know what I mean? So, and like I said, 40 years, it's a lot of designing, a lot of products. We have 6,000 different part numbers. So, which
we are going to get a look at. He's going to take us out the back.
Yeah, we've got nothing to hide. That's one thing. Well, people like to see, touch, feel, and that's a big example why we do trade shows. And it's not just Summernats.
Yeah.
Still, everyone now is like used to a computer, but you still see people come up to you at a trade show and go, wow. They look at, they touch it, they ask the questions. You can hide so much behind a computer screen.
Yeah.
We've
or
found,
social media or whatnot. Yeah.
Correct. We got a bit lazy there for a couple of years and we sort of backed off from trade shows and we realised that people want to touch and feel it.
Yeah.
And you've got to get out there, you've got to show your face and earn trust.
And they can also see, you know, this is a great example of Halo products you can build and things you can do that.
So you obviously got 2 crazy Burnout cars behind us, and we're the first I met 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. We never done a Burnout in our life. It's like, I put it to local football, country football. Why is there playing coaches and why does it work? Because if you actually do it and your players see you doing it, it's the best way to lead. You can turn up to a trade show, don't have any your own cars, don't have any of your own products. Will the people get trust? Probably not. If you actually get a car like that and you're actued part of the crew and people feel...
Yeah, they feel like they can relate to you.
Correct,
as well,
exactly right. And obviously we have a good time doing it, you know what I mean? So, like I said, we've probably got more cars than we like to do with, but people relate. It's good fun.
I mean, as Barry did, he went down Skid Row last year. He had, you know, no smile on his face, obviously, going down Skid Row. It was horrible. He had a horrible time blowing smoke in everyone's face. No, he had a ball.
Yeah, Big Baz has got a good job. He gets stopping any of our cars and drive, and if he hurts it, I pay the bills. So he's definitely got a good gig going on there.
Too good. Let me know when he retires from that.
You're up, ready to go, you reckon?
I'm ready to go. We've got some cool cars here because you guys are car guys at the end of the day, you know? Like, sell all the parts you want. Deep down, you love cars. Tell us about some of these cool
So most of these cars get featured in mags and stuff, and they're pretty much R&D cars, we call them.
Yep.
The HJ is pretty much front to back Rod Shop stuff, but it was like a test mule, if that makes sense. We designed and released parts off that car, and Street Machine were good enough to do a tech story on it. So every car here's got a purpose. We don't just bolt in there so we can drive it on a Sunday. We use that for testing, because you can do as much testing on the bench as you want, but till you put it in a car, people see it, feel it. So you get power steering, obviously LS. Everyone hears LS.
A little bit of boost there as well.
Little side, man. It's funny. Every car we build, we finish it, and 2 weeks later, thinking, what can we do to it next? That car never had a blower on it, but then you bolt a blower on it. I think it's like most car people.
Do you find when you get further and further into these test mule cars, you find gaps in the market and things like that?
It's frustrating because I can sit here with you now and go, hey, the next big thing is this, and you put all this money and time in, and guess what? It doesn't sell.
Yeah.
There's so much thing. You think you're onto a winner, and you're not.
Sometimes you think, what's this little thing? And then
it's crazy.
Sold out.
It's crazy. Like I said, 40 years, we've got parts that were designed 40 years ago. They're still selling today.
Yeah.
I could design something now. I think this is great. It sits on the shelf. That's part of the game too, I suppose. So Barra, I'm not a huge Ford member. Actually, I don't really mind what I drive, but Barra seems to be Barra and LS at the moment. So that's just another test thing. It's got a GM turbo box behind it. It's got a 9-inch in there, but it's a Ford. It's the same thing. It was designed for a purpose. Strut brace kits, tubular arms, coilovers. The cars are there. We call them test mules, and you can drive them, take them to shows. People see it. So
you whip this one down to lunch, get a few pies. Or
you could do, I suppose. And then obviously we've got burnout cars. Same thing. We try and base all that stuff around. It's always good to test your product on a burnout pad. They cop a lot of abuse between engine mounts and cross members and all that kind of stuff. So
a lot of vibration from burnout cars, right? That's probably the biggest
shakes
thing.
them to death, exactly. And especially these LSs, because they're on the limiter the whole time. I don't agree with it, but they are. So and then the VNs, probably one of the latest builds. It was all the leftover gear of our drag car went into this car. So
tidy LSA in there?
Yeah, it's got all the fruit in it. So
man, the cool thing about retrofitting, like this sort of stuff didn't exist 25 years ago, even 10 years ago. It was a bit more. You sound
like my dad. You're talking old now. I wish we had the 1,000 horsepower.
I remember back then. Yeah. But you put this in it, it's like almost a 10-second car, right?
Exactly. People are doing 9-second passes without even trying now. I mean, it's funny. Like you actually maybe giggle just thinking, how old are you? Because it's a saying that the older generation
40 on the Friday Summernats, but don't tell anyone.
So, it's definitely.
We might have a share of beer, eh?
That's it. Speaking of Barry, there's one of his cars with the front clip in there. I think it's been that long. We're storing it for him now, I think. So Baz need to pull your finger out, mate, and get it done.
Yeah, he says he's working on it, but it's just storage, right?
I think it's hiding here from his wife, I think. So
too good.
And then another burnout car wagon, same thing. Features all the Rod Shop products. Like I said, you just banged on vibration and the abuse they get. If they can handle the burnout on the limiter.
It's tidy, this one. Real nice.
Yeah, it's actually one of the boys at work. So slip it in there. We try and change the cars up at the Rod Shop too.
From his girlfriend or his wife as well?
Oh, I think she knows, but she pays the bills, mate. So.
There you go. And he's Baz's ute.
Everyone calls it Barry's ute, but they can call it whatever they want. It's actually our ute, but
there you go.
Barry drives it, so it's for...
we must be doing the right thing. I think it's his ute, so...
There you go. So it's working. So.
Yeah.
And then my favourite, the golf buggy.
Yeah, good. The golf buggy. What's in that? You got a little...
Oh, can't tell you. It's a bit of a sleeper, you know what I mean? So
a few shirts here.
It's funny, it's...
You won't walk around Summernats without seeing a Castlemaine Rod Shop shirt either.
No, it's probably the busiest part of our trade stand at Summernats.
And look at the variety. There's how many shirts are there? None of them are the same. They're all... so many designs.
We get people come by 5 of one design, so you tell me. I don't know.
Oh, we've got a fire alarm.
Yeah, everyone get out.
In my younger days, I did a bit of packing and stuff like that. I can hear the packing tape going and a few things. No doubt there's a lot of stuff going out of here every day.
I just said, like, it's the heart of the place, I suppose. We're a retail store. That's what we are. We don't build cars. Everyone thinks, the Rod Shop build cars. Yeah, we play with our own stuff, but we don't build cars for customers. So here's where it all happens. And then say, if you haven't got it on the shelf, you can't sell it. So, you look behind, you can see it continues to. We could probably do another 2 or 3 different warehouses like this, but we're making do what we've got. That being said, and I say you can't sell it if you haven't got it, a lot of stuff is made to order. Diffs, front ends, there's variations in parts, you know what I mean? Someone rings up and says, I've got an EH Holden, I put an Alice in it, and I'm doing this, I want power steering and a manual steer. You've got to build that part to suit that car. You can't have everything.
And you've got multiple parts to suit that car too.
Exactly. So I think we've got 6,000 different part numbers. Out here there might be 2,000 parts. So you can see that you've got to put stuff together to make custom stuff. That's conversions, I suppose.
And if people want slight tweaks and stuff, you can...
Exactly. So that's why with the sales team, when someone rings up, they ask what engine, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, that comes down to what coilovers you're going to run. Do you run a power steering, manual steering, what brakes? That's just our front ends, and it comes down to a gearbox crossmember. You can't just have one crossmember that's going to do every gearbox. That's not how it works. So, yes, not everything's on the shelf. A lot of it's made to order, but we do try and keep it there so you can pull it off the shelf, send it, and the customer hopefully gets it next day.
Because the combinations are endless. It could be HJ, it could be LC, it could be this, but it could be that engine.
That's right.
And then to this gearbox, then a different gearbox, then a different... Everything and everything.
Kind of lucky now. You get a bit of a gauge of what's popular, I suppose. Like we speak LS, everyone's LS, so you get a bit of a gauge of what
early
you
model
want
Commodore now.
Correct, that's right. But there is left field stuff, Godzillas and 2Js and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd be surprised if we told us all the combinations that are out.
What's the to jump forward? What do you reckon's the next? What's the next step people are going to do?
Oh, that's what we're always sitting there, and you always think, what do you go with?
Yeah.
Everyone says,
we don't want to give the competition secrets, you know, what you're working on.
Nothing to hide, but you speak of Godzilla engines and the LT engine. The problem we're finding now, if it's not a production car in Australia, how many of them engines are going to be floating around that are affordable? Like, it was great when the Commodore was getting done. There was Alice's everywhere. People are picking them up. They used to be up for $500.
Because you're kind of at the mercy of getting it out of America then.
So you've got to work out what's going to be affordable for people. What's going to be that bang for buck. So I think the LS engine will never die. The small block Chev's never died. You know, it's been around for 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's next? Definitely not electric.
And people even buying dark blocks and stuff, so they're going to get made forever. So
that's right, exactly. But you want to find that one that's on hand. You jump on marketplaces there. What is that engine? Don't know.
Unfortunately, the $500 LSs are all...
They're gone.
They're all gone.
All the Burnout guys are all in that. They'll blow them up every week. Lynchy, you're the one to...
Yeah, what are you doing, Andrew, mate? What are you doing?
So, a couple of ones that we've looked through.
Yeah.
Down on the ground here, they've... I think there's diffs and front ends. So every day we might be trying to get out 10 to 15 diffs.
Yep.
That's a part that's made to order. At any one time, we'll have 200 rear ends on order.
International, some of this stuff goes?
Yeah. New Zealand's massive. That car scene per capita, I think that's the word for it, is absolutely out of control.
Yeah. I see a lot of stock on the shelves. Is that because there's no one less patient than car people?
Oh, I'm probably the most guilty person for it. You click buy it now, especially online.
Yeah.
You buy something and you're expecting it that day. It's not that day, it's the next day, but you've got to have the product, the common stuff on the shelf. So we have a couple of guys that are literally just putting parts in boxes to put on the shelf. So we try and make it easy for the warehouse guys. It'll just say what it is, you pluck it, put the label on it, and hopefully you get it the next day.
Diffs, I saw a lot around the corner. We're going to take a walk around there.
Yep.
I love how you said that you work to the customer's needs and custom make what they want.
Yep.
Is it the same with like bell housings and stuff? It's things like that, like you guys...
It is.
Yep.
There's so many combinations. We can't have every bell housing because you can have engine side, but gearbox side can go from super 5-speeds, T5s.
But like you said, you know what the trends are sort of going and you try and stay on top of that.
Get your bulk stuff, but every day we get a curly one come through and see what's going on. So to give you a bit of an idea, this should be today's assemble thing.
Wow.
So, and with a 9-inch diff, they've been around forever, as everyone knows. Ratios, you know, lengths, stud patterns, brakes. So every single diff, that's one product you cannot have on the shelf. Yeah. There's not one diff that would be the same. So that'd be today. A couple of guys to spend time assembling.
And these are all to suit to the mill, to whatever these guys need and whatnot.
Yeah, so they give us that width they want.
Yeah.
And then they get hopefully bolts in the car.
Yeah.
And the wheels clear and all that kind of stuff.
And the centres and everybody's going to want, you know, different.
Correct.
Sort of...
So last year, I know last year was a busy year for everyone, but we sold over 400 9-inch rear ends.
Yeah, wow.
So just show, and we're not the only people that make 9 inches. There's a lot of 9-inch manufacturers, so you can see how big this industry is and the growth. And you know, like I said, we're only a small percentage of a 9-inch manufacturer in Australia. So if we're selling 400, there must be 10,000 plus custom 9-inches get built. That
and all made here.
All made here, yeah. So the guys will go for one to soon and show you it's all made in house because you can't. Like I said, there's too many variations. You can't say I'm going to get it made offshore or going to get someone down the back to make 100 of that one because it's physically impossible. So behind there, you can sort of see down there, the boys are assembling front ends. It's the same kind of thing. They're a bit slower because you can see a front end, how many different parts make it up.
Yeah.
So we might get out 3 or 4 front ends a day versus 10, 15, 9 inches a day.
A bit more intricate,
There's a lot more going on in a front end. So. And everyone goes, why can't you do it quicker? We're in a town of 12,000 people. If you could send us another 50 workers that are going to turn up and do what we need, send them our way.
Mate, this truck, it's huge.
Well, everyone that sees it's only new to the Rod Shop fleet.
Yep.
It's max height, it's max length, and it's definitely a big billboard, but that's what the Rod Shop's all about, I suppose.
And at Summernats, you'll see this parked up. But what's it going to be full? Is it full of a big party inside, or is it full of parts and things to do? And
the front one definitely has a party. Don't worry about that. That front trailer, that's off bounds. But the back one's race cars, parts.
Yeah.
And the back one's a transporter. So.
Yeah. You put the cars that you bring the Summernats in here.
Yep. Cars will be in there.
All your parts and merch and all this kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff. We're laughing or even need a third trailer, but this will do.
Where are we and what's going on?
All right, we spoke about all the 9 inches we sell and then move. Behind us, we've got Jace knocking one out as we speak. It's always good for people to see that they are made in-house, in Castlemaine, in Victoria, in Australia. So we always get asked where stuff made. Well, proof's in the pudding. It's in its early stages, but yeah, there it is.
How's it roll? It rolls from the sales guys into obviously a nice sheet. He reads it and knows exactly what he's got to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a cheat sheet,
Yeah.
widths, ratios, all that kind of stuff. Boys just go through and go from one jig to the next and get straightened and painted and it bolts in your car.
And do burnouts.
Hey, what are you doing? I said I needed workers, but you're taking the piss now,
I
aren't
need a part-time job, mate.
How many beers did you have at the pub?
Warbird, this thing smacks tyres for a living. This is what it does. What's it in the workshop here? It's just chilling, or what's the go?
Well, it's a blown big block,
Yeah.
and when you think it's right, it's not right. These things are just high maintenance.
Yeah.
What they refer them to, but it's always get worked on. Everyone thinks it's always good, but it's
And this is a nice little space here. You guys to work on your own stuff, or
like I said, we don't build cars, but this is the shed where we play with their toys and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're actually just prepping for Summernats.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it's here for.
wild card entry?
Wildcard Thursday.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes off.
You're skidding?
I am.
Yep.
Never skidded Summernats before. My brother's drove it a few times there.
Yep.
Hopefully it comes off looking.
I thought Bazin might have, tried to sneak his way in.
Well, no, he can maybe drive the ute. I know
Skid
not
roll
this
or
one.
something.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, final touches. Touch wood. It works.
Yeah. I know it's a big draw card at Summernats. It's obviously been in America. Cletus has had a bit of a drive of the car.
Yep.
A lot of people want to talk about that.
It's got his stick on the back window and it'll stay there. Cletus was really good to us and we did the same.
Yep.
The car is generally known worldwide now. That's
Yep.
what the car
It's
is.
got the big Freedom Factory sticker on
It does there, yep.
Yeah, I was
So
only there a few weeks ago.
if you look at his cars,
Wild place.
he's still got Rod Shop stickers on it, so it's a two-way street in life, and we appreciate everything he does for us.
We know Warbird's coming. Any about this prancing horse Tirana, mate?
Caused me some headaches, but yeah, it's coming, and it's definitely not going to look the same. So we've got
okay.
a couple little tweaks we've done to the car.
New look.
Yeah, it's got a new look, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're pretty pumped. The car's hopefully going to turn heads. I think just that Ferrari noise and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I'm a little bit excited to cut a few laps around some of that.
And we're going to see Barry and Skid Row in the Ferrari-powered Tirana, or what?
I reckon he could, yeah. We'll see if we can turn a tyre on it. It'll be a bit of a laugh. So it's definitely not a powerhouse, but it'll definitely turn a tyre.
What else is coming? What other cars are you guys thinking about?
I suppose Barry will bring his ute.
Yeah.
It's good to drive around, cut laps. So, I mean, if he's got these, he'll jump on the burnout pad again. So, yeah, we always try and bring 2 or 3 cars, as well as all our trade stuff.
Summernats, Heath, tell us how many times you've been and what it means to you. You know, regardless if you were just going there with your mates to have a beer and cruise around or sit down and chill.
We always say our sales team, we'd love to go there as a fan.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah.
Come 5 o'clock, we can't get out of the place quick enough because it's full on.
It's intense.
But I can see why people love it. It's a place there's nowhere else in the world. You've been overseas, you've just got back. If you could tell me another show anywhere in the world that refers to it, there's nothing. And if there are, they're lines.
Hand on heart.
It is.
Dudes ask me about that in America. I had more people asking me about what I think of their shows. They were asking me, how do I get to Summernats? What can I do to what's it like?
Yep.
How long's it been going? How good is it in person? All this kind of stuff.
Well, we see it here. This time of year, getting close to Summernats, the phone, getting ready for Summernats, That's what you hear. It's a buzz that it brings the industry.
Yeah.
And we're first to say that. It generates sales for the Castlemaine Rod Shop, and I guarantee right now it generates sales for everyone else in the automotive game.
I always talk about it like this. It's like a little city for people like you, me, everybody to go to, shut the gates, leave us alone, and we in there and chill out with like-minded people and have a good time.
100%, and it's a place you go, there's stuff that you won't see anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So like certain cars, people.
To the level of insanity as well.
Correct. It's not just the cars, it's the people, it's the whole place. Like, it's definitely got something about it that gets the whole industry buzzing.
Yep.
And there's no doubt about it. No one can ever say it doesn't, because it actually does.
Yep. Well, that's it. January 4 to 7, we'll see you in Canberra. You'll see Heath. Come and say hello to the guys. Come and say hello to Warbird. See him at the Rod Shop stand, just off Tough Street. That's really it, mate,
That's it. Bring it on.
Bring it on. All right, mad.